மாணவர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். Modeling in Operations Research. A model in OR is a simplified representation of an operation or a process in which only the basic aspects or the most important feature of typical problem under investigation are considered. The objective of model is to be provide a means for analyzing the behavior of the system for the purpose of improving its performance. A mathematical equation may be considered to be a mathematical model in which a relationship between constant and variable is represented. A model which has the possibility of meaning observations may be called a quantitative model. A product, a device of any tangible thing used for experimentation may be represent a physical model. The following are the main characteristics of a good model. A good model should be capable of taking into account new formulations without having any significant change in its frame. Assumption made in model should be as small as possible. It should be simple and coherent. Number of variable used should be less. It should be open to parametric type of treatment. It should not take much time in its construction for any problem. Classification of models. Models by degree of abstraction. These models are based on the past data or information of the problems under consideration and can be categorized into two types: language model and case studies. A book recorded as a language model, example for language model. Models by function. This model consists of some models. Descriptive models. A descriptive model simply describes as some aspects of a situation based on observation, survey, questionnaire results, or other available data. Predictive models. Such model can answer if and what type of questions. That is, they make predictions regarding certain events. For example, based on survey results, television networks attempts to explain and predicts the election outcomes before all the votes are actually counted. Normative models. Finally, when a predictive model has been repeatedly successful, it can be used to prescribe a source of action. Linear programming is a normative or prescriptive model because it prescribes what the managers how to do. Models by structure. These models are represented by iconic or physical models. Iconic or physical models are pictorial representation of real systems and have the appearance of the real thing. Example of such models are city maps, houses, blueprints, globe, and so on. Analog models. Analog models are most abstract than the iconic ones. For these is no look-alike correspondence between these models and real-life items. They are built by utilizing one set of properties to represent another set of properties. Graphs and maps is various colors are analog models. Mathematical or symbolic models. Mathematical or symbolic models are most abstract in nature. They employ a set of mathematical symbols to represent the components of the real system. There is relationship between them. These models are most general and precise. However, it is not always possible to depict a real system in mathematical formulation. Sometimes it is easier to use mathematical symbols for describing the relationship of the components, and sometimes an analog model may be express the pattern of relationship in a better way. Models by nature of environment. These model can be classified into deterministic model and probabilistic models. In deterministic models, all the parameters and functional relationship are assumed to be known with certainty when the decision is to be made. Linear programming and break-even models are the examples of deterministic models. On the other hand, models in which at least one parameter or decision variable is a random variables are called probabilistic or stochastic models. These models reflect to some extent the complexity of the real world and the uncertainty surrounding it. Models by the extent of generality. These models can be categorized into specific models and general models. When a model presents a system at some specific time, it is known as a specific model. In these models, if the time factor is not considered, then they are termed as static models and dynamic models otherwise. Any inventory problem of determining economic order quality for next period, assuming that the demand in planning periods would remain same as that of today, is an example of static model. Dynamic programming may be considered as an example of dynamic model. Simulation and heuristic models. Simulation and heuristic model fall under the category of general models. These models are mainly used to explore alternative strategies which have been overlooked previously. These models do not yield any optimum solution to the problem, but give a solution to problem depending on the past experience. These are the main aspects for the operations research, modeling in operation research. We have to declare the class till these aspects. We will meet next class.